So, what's eating you? Welcome to Super Aging, a show to explore all of the little tweaks and some big changes that we can make to our lives to set ourselves up to age really well. Hi, I'm Marianne from One Life to Flourish. I'm a wellness mindset coach and an intuitive energetic healer. And my purpose is to help women in midlife transform their lives, clear out their baggage, talking about their emotional baggage, and follow their passions and purpose. So tonight, I probably am talking particularly to women at midlife, but the message is relevant to, pretty much anyone if you take it on board the right way. So my question is, what's eating you? And I'm going to be talking about two aspects of your life. So the first one is talking about something within and around you that might be eating you. Or it might also be another aspect that's about who's eating you. So kind of going to the who rather than the what. So we're going to talk about that one first. So as we age, it is really, really important to have a tribe of like-minded, positive people around us. Now, research has actually shown that's to be the case. The longest-lived people in the world are always part of some positive communities where they have lots of usually long-term connections. So this is why I'm talking particularly to women at midlife or people at midlife, because now is the time to try and start building your tribe. Now, the people in our tribe should be ones that are going to support and lift us, not pull us down. And the other side of that is that if you're part of that tribe, you need to be the same way. So you need to be supportive and lifting the other people in the network as well. So your supportive group should provide you with like a safe space to be able to release emotions, release fear, anger, grief. And then it should also be a place that gives you a sense of safety, happiness, and also optimism. So it's kind of a balance of the two there. Now, it's important that your tribe is also trustworthy and supporting you in the life that you wish to live. And of course, remember, same for you. So the other thing to think about is the fact that we actually take on, I suppose, the values and the behaviors of, I think it's the 5 people that we spend the most time with or that we're closest to. So really consider who is in your circle. What are they like? Are they actually going to be a contribution to you or not? So that's kind of the question here. So as hard as it is, probably midlife is a good time to actually assess who you're surrounded by because you've had lots of life experience. You should, by this stage in your life, have some idea of, who you are and who you don't want to be. So it's probably time to kind of take a look at the relationships that are around you. And I'm not talking, purely romantic relationships. I'm talking all of the connections that are part of your life. Because some of them, if you think about it, may actually be toxic. So there may be some people in your circle who have a very negative outlook. There may be some people who, when you spend time with them, just drain your energy, the energy vampires. And there might be, people who just don't have your kind of values anymore. So maybe you got on well when you were younger, but you've all changed. So think about, who you're connecting with. So depending on the connection you have with these people, you may need to make some adjustments. So it may be like adjusting the amount of time that you actually spend with them. And it may be that you need to think about actually cutting ties with some people as well. And then the other part to that is to actually work on bringing into your life new, more positive people that are going to be, building you up, creating a really positive tribe around you. They're the kind of people that you want to have arrive in your life. And the key to that is to actually start to become like the people that you want to attract, because like will attract like, essentially. All right, so being around people who drain you, bring you down, frustrate you, all of those kinds of things actually ends up aging you more rapidly. So you need to really ask yourself, do I want to keep on spending the best years of my life surrounded by the people who are currently in my life? So become discerning, decide who you want to actually go forward with in your life. Now, I don't mean that you just need to cut someone dead out of your life, but, a relationship that's not actively nurtured will, over time, die a natural death. So think about whether you just need to reduce the amount of time that you spend with particular people. All right, so that's number one of what's eating you. And sometimes it's these people around you bringing negativity and toxicity into your life that kind of eat away at your values and your essential self. So the next part of what's eating you, let's have a look at it. So quite often, I'm going to take a slightly different tack here. So it might be time to, kind of have a little bit of a look. Are you taking care of what you're putting into your body? So quite often, this is something that we become very conscious of as we get a little bit older. So we're very conscious of what we're putting into our body. We're very conscious of how our body's moving. And we do all of the things that we're told should make us nice and healthy, but we still just don't feel quite right with our health. So this is where, instead of, eating the right things, helping us feel right, sometimes if that's not the case, it's not what we're eating that's important, but what's inside us. So the things that are eating us inside. So it might be time to consider what emotional baggage you're still carrying around that could be getting in the way of you achieving all of the things that you want. So stop and consider what you actually focus on in your life. So see if maybe this resonates a little bit. Are you a person who cares for everyone around you over and above, caring for yourself, essentially? Are you constantly just rushing here and there to do things for everybody else? Are you actually trying to be everything to everyone around you? And are you really focused on perfection for you? And do you then beat yourself up when you actually don't live up to what, let's face it, is probably a fairly impossible set of self-expectations? So this kind of behavior often starts because of the emotional baggage that we're carrying around. So most likely in the past, you've had times when you've really beaten yourself up for being a failure. You might have had feelings of shame because you're not perfect enough. Most likely you've struggled with feeling a lack of worth, that you don't deserve any of the good things in life. So all of these things actually end up eating away inside us at the pleasure and happiness that we should be able to experience in our life. They create stress, which has its own health issues, and often lead to us actually self-sabotaging when all of that kind of comes in together. So if you can relate to this, then it's probably time to actually start to ask yourself, what is actually the cause of this over-delivery, this perfectionism? And sometimes it can be hard to actually deep dive down and figure that out. So it's good to spend a little bit of time meditating and journaling around, what might be sitting underneath all of this, so that you can start to address it and release your baggage. Now, helping women to change their mindsets and actually release the things that no longer serve them is actually one of the main things that I focus on doing. So I've actually helped many women just release their emotional crap, essentially, and just then open themselves up to a much more potentialized future, a brighter future. So if you're interested in finding out more, just drop a yes, tell me more in the comments, or just message me, and I'll connect you with a little bit of information. All right, so let's wrap it up. So first of all, make sure that you are surrounding yourself with a positive, supportive tribe, but also make sure that you are representing those same positive attributes of the people you want to hang around with. And then release the emotional baggage that is putting pressure on you to become perfect and probably leading to a bit of self-sabotage. So don't try to be all things to all people. It is not possible. You need to be true to yourself. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, watch last week's episode. So thank you for tuning into this episode, and I hope that you have a really great week. And just start to think a little bit about, how you can release some of these things that are not serving you as you go forward in your life. So join me next week when I'm going to be heading off in a slightly different direction with some slightly different things to focus on to help us be super agers. So I hope you join me then. Have a wonderful week in the meantime. So bye.